One of the applications I personally like is the music
application, of course.
Funnily enough.
Yeah, this is a great application. You can, as long as you've got public play license music, you can put the albums onto the Surface unit, and we can build up playlists. So we can start making a little playlist in here. We can kick that off.
Oh, sorry, I just paused that.
Let's pick one that's a bit louder.
And I just want to show you in terms of how loud this can go. We just have a
Right, yeah. The sound system on here, as I was saying, the sound system on here is actually pretty good. So we can use Surface, if you want, as a super futuristic jukebox.
Yep.
You put all the different songs, and it doesn't just have to be audio. You can put video on here. You put all kinds of different media on here to be played.
Fantastic.
And again, we could do things to customize these types of applications, to put your own songs on, your own music, your own media. You can categorize them, so you can have quite a large volume, catalog, and start going through that catalog.
And I suppose because it's a 360-degree user experience, you can say, I was viewing an album over here and I wanted to throw it to one of my friends over there.
Right, and then they could look through it, and they could say, oh, let's pick this one song out and put it into the playlist, and then it goes in the playlist. And build up a nice big playlist to listen to through the evening.
Absolutely.
One of the applications that we've been doing quite a lot of work on is the concierge application, and in many ways it's kind of strange that a lot of the work we do is simplification. It's trying to remove complexity. So this application is actually really, really simple, and people go, it's so obvious, just get it. Each person has a pile of things on their corner, and as you go through your different categories, so I can see where the ferries are or where the restaurants are or museums, they pop up on the map. So I find a bank. Here's a bank.
Yep.
I can click on it. It tells me that it's Westpac. There's an ATM there, and it does business banking.
I've clicked on the same bank as well, and I'm blue.
So you're blue, I'm green, and the icon appears in blue and green.
And when you touch it, it shows you the information.
Absolutely.
Okay. And there's...
Yeah, and so these people could be looking at banks, they could be looking at coffee shops. So the red corner finds a coffee shop. They find this coffee shop's just around the corner, and they do great coffee and grub.
Yep.
So they can go there.
Fantastic.
The yellow corner's found ferries, and ferries that go from Circular.
So this type of application will be perfect in areas where large groups of people gather, where people want information about their local environment.
Right, and very much, you put yourself in the centre. So we're in this location, we have our office in the centre, but if you're a hotel, you put the hotel in the centre. If you're a bar, you put the bar in the centre, and then all the things you want your clients to be able to find out about.
Yeah.
And that differs, so we can change the categories, we can change the content, because in a hotel, maybe you don't necessarily want people finding out about where other hotels are, but you want them to know where the museums are and where public transport is, and where parks are. So those are the things we put on there. If you're a bar, maybe you want to show people where the nearest ATM is, so they can go and get more money and come and spend more money.
And if you were a bar, you could also have your little tags built onto some of your taste testing.
Yep.
So with this, I suppose as well, it's really good because it's all within walking. What you can see here is basically within walking distance of the CBD. So
and that's one of the great things about Sydney is Sydney's one of those kinds of cities where everything's very walkable when you're in the CBD. And so, for a tourist in Sydney, they go into a hotel, they see this, they can find all the things they can walk to, all the different museums, all the different galleries, they can walk to those, they can find out exactly where they are, and they'll all be relatively close.
Yeah.
And that's a really nice feature of being able to do this and keep the map constrained to that local area. So it's very location specific. It doesn't let the user go and roam off to somewhere else.
Right.
It keeps them focused on the location you want to keep them in.
And also with these types of applications, I guess for industries and companies that would be looking to use a Surface unit, really the sky's the limit. It's really about your imagination and what you would like to see on a Surface unit that would interact with your visitors and your guests, and what you want them to experience from you. So it really is about their branding and how they would like their
and the best way to start, when we go and start building applications like this for customers, is to go and spend some time with them brainstorming. Because we've done so many of these applications now. We've been building applications for Surface in Europe for over 12 months now. we know the kinds of things we can do. We've seen things that have worked well, and we can sit down with the customer and say, look, how about these kinds of ideas? What kind of things you could do? These are options. These are things we've seen work very successfully in the past.
Right.
And use those ideas to enhance what the customer's doing with their customers in their location.
And Dr. Neil, is it right that you've written the only user manual?
Yes, so there's a book out now, that's right, how to develop Surface applications.
Was that released in December, is that right?
Released in December,
yeah.
So it's the only book that's out there. Yeah. And you can buy that from our website as well.
Okay, great. Okay, let's have a little bit more of a look. I really like this. It's just it's so interactive, and it's something that you can really see that people can use quite intuitively.
I guess the other, while we're talking about kind of touristy type things, is photos.
Yeah. Where
photos is a nice application to enable people to explore a whole bunch of photos, maybe categorise, maybe about the area that they're in, and potentially we can build something that allows people to upload their own photos into an application as well, so they can start exploring. So imagine you get back to the hotel after a heavy day of exploring, you plug the camera in, here's all the photos that you collected today, you can start exploring them and sharing them with each other.
Yeah.
A family can gather around the table and see the things they've been doing, view through, scroll through the photos. You can view the photos in different ways. So here we can see all the different categories and say, let's have a look at some of the beaches, and here are some of the beaches, and we can pull those photos out, explore them, and do all the things we expect to be able to do intuitively with our fingers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stretch them, shrink them, etc.
And I guess given that it is sort of a 360-degree user experience, you can throw this sort of thing around. It's sort of it's similar to the music application where you can share things with people. Have a look at that. This is what we did today.
Absolutely.
And it's very hands-on.
Yeah, absolutely. So the whole table provides an experience where people can sit all around the table.
Yeah.
4-6 people sitting around the table, interacting with it, working with it, collaborating to choose photos, choose music, to find places they want to go to.
Absolutely.
And to explore an area, to find out information about where they are.
Yeah.
And because this unit is definitely designed to be in a location, we can use location-specific information about where the unit is. We know where the unit has been located.
Yeah.
If we're working with a hotel, we know it's in the hotel lobby. If we're working with a bar, we know where the bar is.
Okay.
And we can use all the information that's relevant to the people in that space.
Right, okay. And this is taking, I guess, technology into a new era, because often with computers, people are sat at their computer.
It's a very solitary experience. This becomes a very collaborative social engagement. People talk about social computing and they always think of social networking and Facebook and Twitter and all those kinds of... This is real social computing. This is social computing where we're face-to-face, working with each other, actually working with people to achieve things.
Speaking of groups, can we have a look at the education application?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's have a look at this one. I really like this.
So, regular viewers will know that we do a lot of work with education, and this is a spelling application. There's a little fellow running around in the middle. It's an ant, as it happens, so we need to spell ant. So
children are... And
you did it. Well done.
I can spell ant.
And so each time a child succeeds or a student succeeds, they get their little fireworks go off and the music plays, and as each student does it, and it's within a time constraint.
Right.
This application will actually scroll through once this round is over. It will go to the next animal. It will go through a series of animals. Yeah. The content is customizable by the teachers, so teachers can log on to a teacher tool. They plug in a USB key into their Mac or into their PC, into their Windows machine.
So the teacher is taking control of this. It's not just like a bunch of games loaded onto a computer.
No.
It's that they are actually
controlling
taking
the
control.
content. Yeah. So they control what the image is. They control what the words that the kids are spelling are.
Okay.
And then they load that onto the table. The table synchronizes with the teacher tool, and the students will then get whatever the teacher's decided they should get. Well done.
Yeah,
you can spell
thank
camel.
you. I spelled camel.
So that's our Surface unit, and some of the things we're doing with it. We'll show you some more things we've been doing with it over the next few weeks, I guess.
Well, I look forward to.
So what have you got next? It looks like you've got a meeting.
I've got a meeting coming up,
and I've actually got a free period, so I might go and do some work, and then I've got a meeting after that. So
nice. Well, it's
Catch
been
you
nice
later.
chatting to you, Neil,
Yeah.
and we'll chat again very soon.